Hello, guys, and welcome back to another episode of Higurashi Watanadashi Arc Anime Edition. We're on episode 7, which means shit's about to go down because we're past the halfway point, and usually in Higurashi arcs, at least. No, I guess like every Higurashi arc, it always gets more intense past halfway point, so should just be full throttle from now on, so that should be fun. Last time we did watch an Adashi, we did the Takano history lesson, school stuff. I don't remember, was there anything relevant that happened at school? Not really. No. Then you had the talk with Oishi in the library. Then Keiichi learned about Takano and Tomotaki's death. And then you had the phone scene, which I like that scene a lot. But I also forgot to mention in the past discussion, but with the reveal of Takano and Tomotaki's death, they didn't actually tell you how, like the full Takano death. They just said she was burnt to death when she was like burnt in a barrel, semi-unclothed in the middle of a mountain outside of the prefecture. You know, I mean, it's kind of relevant because it's a lot more sketchy. But I think just the fact that she was burned to death was always like the sketchy part. Also, I remember they showed like some weird, weird imagery when they said that. Had some nice meme potential. But you know what? No stall. Don't really have much else to say. Let's just get into this, dude. Episode 7. Timer reaction. I mean, you should know that, but just in case you're new here, for whatever reason, we only do timer reactions here at this moment, at least. Which means you need your own episode copy and just sync it up. I will count down from 3, 2, 1, go, and on go you will hear me click, and that's when you start your episode, and we'll watch the whole episode together, or you know, you can skip ahead, whatever. But basically you just need your own episode, and there will be a timer to help you further sync, or if you like want to skip ahead or to a certain point of the episode, it should help you sync up to there. But yeah, let's go. 3, 2, 1, go. Yo, the classmates, all new faces. The top. Good one. Talking about Kimiyoshi, so they skipped the phone call from the Kimiyoshi family to Keiichi's house, or that they're missing, and he's missing in general. Which is fine, I guess, though it's a little abrupt. Might be a little confused coming into this episode. But they're explaining it, so never mind. It's just changing how it's done, which is fine. Lies. Ooh, you know where it's gonna end. Actually, is that too far? I don't know. I think they're gonna end with another banger phone scene. I'm just wondering, like, how much of the story is left after that phone scene? Not much, since how fast-paced this is, so maybe it'll end earlier. Or maybe just in the car. I don't know. I'm just trying to map it out. But yeah, how you doing tonight? I'm skipping UFC again. I don't know, I've been a bit more lenient with it. Nothing really big happening. Though the title fight, you know, with the karate hottie as her epitaph, which is really funny because I didn't realize it, but it's that. I don't know if you guys ever watched What was it called? Dojo 10 or something? That guy that does like parody karate. And like from a 7-year-old video, he had her on his show. I don't know. I just thought it was funny. It was like I read the title. I'm like, oh my god, is that girl from Dojo 10 or whatever? What am I talking about? Literally nothing important. Also drinking Rolo hot chocolate as the drink of choice tonight. It's pretty good. I did like the. This is like the same hot chocolate when we had our hot chocolate craze, where we just drink hot chocolate like 3 times a week on videos. Anyways, that was fluff. To now dial into the epi. Oh, this scene. Yeah. Oh, just in front of him the whole time? That's kind of awkward. So sad, Rika. So cute. Dun dun. Weird. So Teichi doesn't even admit it in this. Didn't she? Didn't he in the novel? I don't know. I like they kept that scene. They did cut some stuff, but it's a great scene, dude. I'm sure a lot of people were theorizing with that. I want to talk about it, but don't want to talk over it too much. I do have some questions revisiting the scene, which we can talk about after. But yeah, I really didn't get like the dog part honestly until like the last arc, even though you probably should have guessed it until like the 7th arc, but I was pretty late to it. But anyways, just calm down on that. headman as mayor. Though that might be common knowledge. I don't know if I know that term. Ooh, that kind of hit hard with the sound coming in. Good sound mixing. Ooh. Oh. Yo. Rena's dad. And oh yeah, they did. I do actually remember. Rena just took a shower when the dad answered. But also, that's a really cool adaptation of the scene. I thought that was really well done. Obviously, they cut some fluff, but kind of hit hard. Don't worry, Mion's here with the gun. This is also the revelation that Rika and Satoko live together, which is kind of a surprise, though it made sense with some of the Ana Takashi dialogue, which I do think they kept in the anime. And I don't think they ever directly said or confirmed in Ana Takashi that Rika's last name connects with the shrine, like directly like stated the connection, even though obviously you can find it yourself. Kind of like some mini reveals, though I think I found out the last name stuff easily, but not that they live together. That got me pressed up, like, not Satoko, dude. No. What the heck? Why is it so out of sync? That's so cursed. I think I used that as a thumbnail for some Higurashi video. It looked like she was lagging, dude. No, we gotta use that as a thumbnail. Maybe. Jesus. I do like how they did her eyes. Jesus. Dude, I don't blame Keiichi. But it's actually explained well in Mayatashi, which I didn't catch until a comment recently informs me. But also, I like her eyes because in the scene they showed the CG like freaky red eye thing. But in Anatatashi they showed the cat eyes when Mion was raging, which is different than the other one. So I like the difference because they're supposed to be different eyes. Straight to this was a good scene too. I wonder how they'll play this. Oh, that looks so beautiful, man. Dude, I can't believe my dad went here. He went out here on vacation. I would have asked for like way more photos and more specific stuff, but kind of just told me as an afterthought. Because he lives in Japan, but he went to the village that Hinamiza was inspired after, which is like so dope. Wish I would have went, but it's way too up north. Well, I don't know. out of the way when I'm vacationing there. Anyways. Yeah, this seems so good. Kind of weird how they ended it, but probably makes you conflicted on Rena after Honor Takashi, huh? At least I was. I was like, what the heck's happening, dude? Why is she so nice? Dude, the Tomita Tofu shop, it does some work too, because excuse me, but even in the Netstark, they give Keiichi some tech. So in two arts, they kind of help solve some mysteries here and there, huh? My boy, Tomita. Detective Rena. This is great. So randomly, I think she said this at school, right? Just flowing it differently. Honestly, cutting down this scene though is actually kind of making it work a bit better. Because Kichi was looking like a real dumbass. How hard Rena had to explain her theory. But since it's nice and fast, yeah. The big soy sauce bottle. So big soy sauce bottle. No, Toto. It's more than, I mean, it is speculation, but it's a good guess. Ooh, time check? I think we are gonna end with the phone call, huh? Nice. Double episodes ending with a phone call. That's a difference, but it doesn't really matter. I think Rena did run. I thought Rena did ride, and then Keiichi just fell asleep. And then, yeah, then they talked. Dude, why does Oishi look so evil? Maybe it's just smug. This was such a good scene, though. My mind was fucking. I was so hyped when it hits you. What this means? Keiichi, it is a nice side effect. Keiichi seems way more smarter than he appeared in the visual novel sometimes. I mean, it's kind of mean, but he just took like a billion years to come to a kind of easy conclusion. But this is nice. This was a nice thinker too. That statement. But I kind of filtered that out kind of fast. I don't know if that was common. Oh, this was so good. Ooh, I feel the chills. It's so good, dude. This was like crazy. I bet you can check out my reaction or my video on this episode for the visual novel. I bet I was doing crazy. And by crazy, I mean crazier than my normally kind of chill self, which might not be that crazy, but crazy for me, I guess. We're doing it, dude. Phone call number 2. Watanashi, best phone call scenes. There's some other good ones though, but so weird that they're doing thoughts now when they barely did thoughts in Anatakashi, huh? Though it is an improvement in my opinion. Ooh, I just okay. Just can save that after. Show it. Oh, I don't think they're gonna. Ooh, that's pretty good. Okay, dude. I like that episode. I think it was pretty good actually. Definitely some. I think they did most of the good scenes well. I do think there could be some stuff they cut that might have made it a little bit better here and there. Stuff I just like remembered as it, even I forget, but yeah, pretty good. I'm happy. But yeah, that was such a good scene. Like when you first realize it, you're like, "Oh my god!" And then Maitashi, obviously, it kind of switches, but it's definitely one of the best moments, I would say, at least in my experience. Hello, train. And as per usual, the song slaps. Though we will be hearing this for a while, I think. And the opening. I think the full season, as someone told me, which is good. I like it. Time for your burn poem. What you got? Wish. Alright. I did kind of pause early, but whatever. Just because I didn't want the video to end. So thank you for watching this reaction. Hopefully you enjoyed. We're gonna talk about it a little bit. So stay tuned for that if you're interested. But yeah, let's do that. So, like I said, good stuff. We learn about the mayor. It's actually done pretty well in the visual novel. I think when after Kichi hangs up on the phone, he gets a phone call thinking it's Shion, but it's really one of the children from the Kimiyoshi family talking, asking if their old man has been to or has he seen their old man recently, which is kind of ominous. You're like, what the heck? I honestly didn't even remember. And they put like the Kimiyoshi name tag. I'm like, who the fuck's that? But yeah, it was pretty ominous. Then you get the whole talking to Mion, and they're organizing a search party. But this was done pretty well enough, I guess. Intro, blah blah blah. Then the Rika scene. I think that's actually what happened in the visual novel, I guess. Though again, the spacing seems weird. He's just watering and then he just looks for it and he just sees Rita there. Like, do they both not notice each other? I'm pretty sure in the visual novel he like turns the corner and sees her there crying. I done little stuff, but it is kind of a little funny. Kind of like last episode when Shion runs off and then they're like, oh, did you see Shion? Bro, you were right behind him. But yeah, this scene was good. So it's a nice mystery too. I done watch Higurashi does well with that. Talking about cats and dogs. I do think in the visual novel, Keiichi actually asked for Rita's help outright. Not saying what he did, but while Rita kind of initiated the conversation. I don't know if that says anything about character or not, but just a detail. And the cat and dog thing was cool, because at least it did come off like that in this. And especially in the visual novel, you're like, okay, this kind of makes sense. Mion and Shion are cats, talking about the older sister being angry. Keiichi is cats, whatever. And then, like, once something they left out, once Keiichi asked about Tomotaki and Taten, Ulrika kind of was like, oh, don't worry about them. It has nothing to do with what you did. Which is a pretty good hint, to be honest, but also. And I mean, you can connect that with the fact that Keiichi didn't sneak in. So obviously, well, I mean, I guess it's kind of harder to say. Never mind. That point's not as good as I thought. But yeah, they did that. It did get a little confusing when for me, during watching Higurashi, when she started talking about dogs, and then they're like, oh, they accidentally attacked Kimiyoshi. It like gets like, first you kind of understand it, but then you're like, What the heck is she talking about, dude? Because Miyana and Shion were cats. And, like, even after watching Dashi, it still lingers with you until you kind of find out what she means. Which is kind of mean at Higurashi, I guess, when you get official, like, names and stuff. But, yeah, because, like, at the end, you kind of know what's happening. Like, Shion slash Mion, obviously did something bad with the menacing laughter. But yeah, because Rita refers to Shion and Mion as cats, not dogs. So I'm like, who the heck's the dog, dude? But yeah, it's a good scene. I think it was done pretty well. I'm sure theory makers were having fun with that. Then we got the phone scene. This was pretty good, actually. Shion's voice acting was definitely on point for this. Very intense. And then they cut it, but it kind of worked. Made it feel a little more urgent in the visual novel. And then it took Teichi a while to connect the pieces. So that did make it seem Keiichi a lot more desperate when he found out about Rita and stuff. But yeah, phone call with Rena. Rena shower scene. What I've always wanted to see. But yeah, Rena's dad too. Hype. Oh yeah, and they did a little dead Rita animation. That was a good bit. That was solid. Might be my favorite adapted part from this episode, maybe. But then they go with Mion to Rita's house. And then the reveal was like when they're finally saying it. Though they did say the Furude stuff earlier, though they kind of skipped over that. But the reveal of Satoto and Rita living together was neat. I did mention, I think they say in episode 1 of Onitakashi, when they're having their picnic, Satoto's like, hey, what are you doing on what are you doing at our place or whatever? And then Keiichi's like, oh, it's a shrine, it's public grounds. And then Rita's like, yeah, Keiichi's right, but it is actually, they live there, so it was a nice reveal. But it's also like, oh shit, don't hurt Satoto, she's innocent. Then you have the whole ladder scene with Mion. Dude, it looks so funny. It then complimented the eyes. I like how they made it look crazy and maddening and not the cat eyes ever present in Onitakashi. Kind of like fits with the CG better. But it's so weird because it looks like just looking at this animation again. She looks like she's lagging. But yeah. Good meme production. Good scene, honestly. And I said someone pointed out to me that when you look at it through her POV and Mayakashi, she actually thinks she's saying this in her head. And I don't even think she notices that she said it out loud. That's why she's able to switch real fast. So it's not like an actual, I mean, it's an internal mental breakdown, not like when that the Sword Stream it leaks out, right? Well, I mean, it did leak out, but you know what I'm saying. But yeah, that was good. Good stuff. We went inside. Kind of zoomed past that. It did kind of make Mion look a bit more heroic in the visual novel, at least this scene, because a bunch of other villagers came too, and then Mion kind of became the leader for a search party, and they're doing a search party right now where Keiichi was searching, and then he comes up to this place. It's over Hinamizawa. I mean, they do show the search party, but they didn't really show Mion leading it. But I don't know. It doesn't really matter. The nails did on the floor. Rena being super comforting and stuff. And then nice jut stuff from when she was seemingly the main villain in the first arc. Very dramatic scene. Then after that, they go back and Mion was worried, kind of scolding Keiichi, that she was worried something happened to him too, and kind of questioned if you saw anything or whatever. They did cut that out. I'm just mentioning it because it was used later as like in Mayatashi. though maybe they'll show it in my Tashi, so I don't really need to talk about it too much. Then they go on their little walk. They kind of skip out, but I think they do talk about this at school, mainly because you observe Mion, who is all drained out, as you know she's been up all night searching for the mayor and searching for Rika and Satoko. So they kind of want to leave her out of this, but then Rena goes on her detective monologue stuff, and it's pretty great. You know, Rena, it's proving how sharp she is. You kind of do know that from Honor Takashi, though you might not realize it because it's done in more of a horrifying way. Well, maybe you won't, because Honor Takashi is just like so creepy, but you know, she can easily tell when Keiichi lies, and she spots the easy kitchen stuff because she's also a great cook. The whole soy sauce bottle. You have the Oishi stuff. Like I said, I think in the visual novel, they both take a ride home. Keiichi falls asleep. Then it's nighttime when he talks to Oishi. Little spookier, but whatever. Then you have this whole reveal, and there's a lot more like fluff in it in the visual novel, where Keiichi's like talking back and forth, talking about different stuff about the investigation, but then they eventually like sneak into the reveal that Shion has been missing, which I mean it's fine that they didn't, but I do think one part that they cut that would have made the scene a little more, give a little more oomph. Actually, first we should talk about Timiyoshi. The whole Timiyoshi reveal was really good, because it even took me a little bit. Then I'm like, oh my god, when did she? I think I did realize it, but that was good. They hit you with a reveal, then they hit you with a double reveal. Like first you're like, oh, Shion's lying. Oh shit, we got it. Then they hit you with the Shion's been missing. Then you're like, oh my god, it's a nice double hitter reveal, and I really like that scene. And I think it's done pretty well in this too. But what I was saying is, they skipped the part that yes, Shion disappeared the day after the Watchanadashi, but more specifically, Oishi clearly states that she disappeared after they met at the library. So when Shion and Keiichi met at the library and Oishi sort of crashed the party and then Shion left, she was never seen again from family members and stuff. So that's the hitter, dude. She just disappeared right after that. That really hit home differently for me. I'm like, holy shit, it's so good. But yeah, I think it was still done well. Could have did a little more with that, though. Yeah, I mean it was more intense with the visual novel just because, you know, the actual inner monologue was pretty crazy. Like Keiichi's brain breaking apart. Like, you know, he kind of catches on to, oh, Shion was lying, but wait, Shion wasn't even talking to him. And then it like I don't know how far they go in. I think they don't really go into it too much. But then Keiichi's like realizing, oh my god, I've been talking to Shion for like every day for the past couple of days, but she's been gone since this time. Then who the heck has I been talking to on the phone? Like that was super good. But yeah, it's just a great scene, dude. Then we did the phone scene, part 2. And this was good. Keiichi interrogating Shion. And then a bit faster paced. Though again, I think it might just be natural since how long the thought thinking stuff monologuing in Higurashi is. So it might actually just be normal, minus how long it takes to like read the thinking stuff. But yeah, this was nice too. At the end in the visual novel, at least they like just flash a freaking CG of Mion's freaky face on the phone, which was a nice touch. They didn't do that, but I did like the little sound effect when she turned off the phone. But yeah, this was I like the interrogation. It's like Keiichi, he's a fun character. I will admit, when I started reading the visual novel, at least through Honor Takashi, he wasn't like my favorite. But I think it started since watching Higurashi, where I started to like him more and more. even though he's kind of an idiot. And obviously the next episode is gonna showcase where I really started to like him more. But this was like the start when he started interrogating her slowly. Then I'm like, all right, Teachy, how you gonna do this? You know, you should ease into it a bit. Then he's just like, fuck that. I'm just gonna outright say it, which is so dangerous because, yes, with this knowledge, she's assuming Mion is the one calling them, and Mion's been making people disappear, so it's just balls to the walls, and I just appreciate it, man. I respect Keiichi for it. But yeah, it's a good scene too. I mean, it probably is better than the earlier phone call scene from the end of the last episode, but I love the Keiichi monologue from that one. But yeah, good scene. I think in the visual novel, this was like the scene. It had that OST that people didn't like going over it. But I think during watching it, actually, I didn't have the original soundtrack. So it was actually a different bop. And it was pretty good. It was so good, I remember someone was like, oh, I can't find the song name. Can you just like give me the file? And then it spent like 30 minutes looking for the file for that guy. But yeah, random stuff. But I think overall, very strong episode. I was happy with a lot of what they adapted throughout, and I think they did a good job. Good adaptation so far. But yeah, next episode will be the finale for Watching Higurashi. Will Keiichi survive? Dude, a lot of good stuff. I guess I was like, they wouldn't end with the phone call because since how fast paced it is, how are they gonna stretch the last episode? Because there's not too much left, but I guess there is a lot if you think about it. They probably like, I'm just mapping it out in my head. Yeah. It's probably enough. You can say, yeah. I don't know. I don't want to say it out loud again. I don't know. I'm being a little weird about it since obviously there's like spoilers and stuff, but spoilers don't matter to me and probably to a lot of other people. But who the fuck knows, man? Maybe there's first time anime viewers here too. Which I mean, I guess I am low key spoiling a lot of stuff, but just kind of comes with the territory of the nature of this reaction. But yeah, anyways, thank you for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this episode, and next time we'll finish off the Watching Higurashi chapter. Should be fun. But yeah, hopefully you have a great day / night, and I'll see you next time. Bye.